What would drive a seemingly normal college student to pack up her belongings, crash her car on a remote and snowy New Hampshire road, and vanish into thin air? That's the question at the core of Maura Murray's disappearance, a mystery that has captivated true crime enthusiasts and baffled investigators for nearly 20 years. In February 2004, Maura left behind a wrecked car, a trail of perplexing clues, and absolutely no sign of where she went, or why. Who was Maura Murray? Maura Murray seemed like the kind of person who had it all together. At 21 years old, she was a nursing student at UMass Amherst, excelling in a challenging program and admired for her intelligence, athleticism, and determination. But the months leading up to her disappearance told a different story, one of stress, personal struggles, and decisions that seemed increasingly out of character. Trouble with the law. In late 2003, Maura got caught using a stolen credit card to buy small items like pizza and snacks. It wasn't a major crime, just enough to land her a misdemeanor charge and add another layer of stress to her already complicated life. Academic and personal pressure. UMass Amherst's nursing program is no joke, and by all accounts, Maura was managing, but barely. The intense workload, combined with the weight of her legal troubles, may have been taking a toll. Her personal life wasn't much smoother. Maura was in a long-distance relationship with her boyfriend Bill, an Army officer, but their relationship had its fair share of cracks. Rumors of infidelity on both sides suggested things weren't as picture-perfect as they appeared. In the days leading up to her disappearance, Maura seemed distracted and withdrawn, leaving those close to her wondering if something was wrong. The days before Maura Murray disappeared were marked by a series of odd decisions and behaviors that only deepened the mystery. 2 days before her disappearance, Maura withdrew almost all the money from her bank account, around $280. She used the cash to buy alcohol, including a box of wine and some vodka. It was a seemingly normal shopping trip, except for the fact that it looked like she was preparing for something. But what? Maura sent emails to her professors and work supervisors, claiming a family emergency required her to leave town for a few days. Her family later confirmed there was no such emergency, leaving everyone wondering why she lied. Packing up her life. Before leaving campus, Maura packed up her dorm room, taking toiletries, clothing, school books, and a map of Vermont. She even brought along her favorite book, Not Without Peril, which tells stories of hiking misadventures in the White Mountains. It's a small detail, but one that has fueled endless speculation about her plans. The car crash. On the evening of February 9, 2004, Maura's black Saturn skidded off Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire, crashing into a snowbank. It was a lonely, icy road surrounded by woods and far from any major town. A passing school bus driver stopped to check on her. According to him, Maura seemed calm, even unnervingly so, and assured him she didn't need help. She claimed to have called AAA, but here's the catch: there was no cell service in the area. The bus driver, either skeptical or simply concerned, called the police after leaving the scene. When officers arrived minutes later, Maura was gone. The scene she left behind. Her car was still there, damaged but drivable, with its doors locked. Inside, police found a few odd clues: an unopened box of wine, spilled alcohol on the car seats, and most of her belongings neatly packed, as though she had been planning a trip. Outside the car, nothing. No footprints leading into the woods, no blood, no signs of a struggle. Police dogs tracked her scent but lost it 100 yards down the road, suggesting she might have gotten into another vehicle. The investigation. The search for Maura began immediately. Helicopters scanned the area from above, search dogs combed the woods, and volunteers scoured the snowy terrain. Despite their efforts, not a single trace of Maura was found. No clothing, no footprints, no body. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. The silence. Perhaps the most unnerving aspect of this case is the total lack of communication from Maura after the crash. Her phone was never used again. No calls, no texts, no pings. Leads came in over the years with occasional reports of sightings or cryptic tips, but none ever led anywhere substantial. Theories. What really happened to Maura Murray? Maura's disappearance has inspired countless theories, ranging from the plausible to the downright bizarre. Let's break down the most discussed possibilities. There's a strong case to be made that Maura planned her disappearance. The packed belongings, cash withdrawal, and email about a family emergency suggest she was trying to hit the reset button. But here's the problem. Why crash her car in the middle of nowhere? Why disappear into the freezing wilderness without a clear plan? And if she ran away, why hasn't she resurfaced in nearly 20 years? Some have speculated that Maura might have been pregnant. Police reports mention that her internet search history included questions about the effects of drinking on a fetus, raising the possibility that she was dealing with a secret she didn't know how to handle. Another theory is that Maura was abducted. The isolated road and the abrupt end to her scent trail suggest she may have gotten into a passing vehicle. But this theory has its issues. There's no physical evidence of a struggle, no blood, no signs of violence. While foul play can't be ruled out, the lack of evidence makes it a hard theory to prove. The simplest explanation is that Maura wandered into the woods, disoriented or panicked, and succumbed to the freezing temperatures. But here's the counterpoint. The area was extensively searched, and not a single piece of evidence, no clothing, no remains, was ever found. If this theory is true, nature is keeping her secret remarkably well. Maura Murray's disappearance isn't just a mystery. It's a story that refuses to let go. Nearly 2 decades later, we're no closer to finding answers than we were in 2004. What makes this case so haunting isn't just the lack of evidence. It's the lack of anything. No confirmed sightings, no trace of her belongings, no definitive clues to point investigators in one direction or another. In a world where surveillance cameras and cell phones make it nearly impossible for anyone to go unnoticed, Maura's disappearance feels like an anomaly. It's a reminder that even in the digital age, some mysteries remain maddeningly unsolvable. So what happened to Maura Murray? Did she orchestrate her own disappearance to escape a life that felt overwhelming? Was she the victim of a chance encounter that turned deadly? Or was her fate the result of an accident so obscure that no one has uncovered it yet? Theories are endless, but answers remain elusive. Perhaps that's why her story endures. It taps into our collective obsession with the unknown and the unsettling idea that some stories don't come with tidy endings. One thing is certain. Maura Murray's disappearance will continue to fascinate and frustrate, leaving us with more questions than answers. What do you think happened to Maura Murray? Join the conversation and share your theories as we continue to explore one of true crime's most baffling mysteries.